My name is Jamie. Each week I get a shit ton of produce that is otherwise going to be thrown out and put in the dumpsters. What I don't donate, I make a challenge with myself to use it all up, but it's tiring. I fucking hate cooking.
Precious baby celery. I have a whole bunch of precious baby celery. And like, what the fuck? Like, how I can only have so much celery and ranch, celery and peanut butter. So I had to look up what to do. I don't have a juicer, but let me show you what I'm going to do. So I have tons of celery. I am going to make a celery juice without a juicer, with just a blender, because I don't have everything and it's frustrating. I have oranges. It's gonna use orange. I'm just gonna use apples. I'm gonna share the recipe with you. Follow along or don't. If you have a juicer, you'll have a lot easier than me. So I want to warn you, I read that celery juice gives you diarrhea. Well, I am constantly constipated and it didn't make me have diarrhea, so I'm sure you'll be okay. To make this drink, you're gonna need celery. You can't get around it, you need celery for this drink. You also need citrus. I have a bunch of oranges, so I'm gonna use oranges, but use lemons, limes, whatever you prefer, whatever's cheaper, whatever you can pick or whatever you can find, whatever you can dumpster, that's what you're gonna do. And apples. These are gala apples. You're gonna need some apples. I prefer tart, but if you got some of them red ones, Red Delicious, use those too. But the tartar, the better, personally. And then ginger. You're gonna need about 2 inches of ginger for this recipe. And that's it. Wow. Except for a blender. You need a blender, a good blender. If you have like one of those shitty ones that cost like $20, like I never found one that works. But yeah, we're gonna make this work. So first with the celery, you're going to cut off all the celery leaves. The celery leaves are edible and delicious, so put them aside for a soup or whatever. But I read, and I haven't tried, but I read that they make this drink bitter. So please just cut them off, unless you like bitter shit, you know? And use a knife. I won't use a sharp knife. I cut off the tip of my finger once. So all my knives are very dull, and it saved me. This is the worst part. I hate this part. I hate chopping vegetables. This part, you're gonna feel like you're like here for eternity. You're gonna have 2, like, I doubled the recipe, you know. I forgot to tell you, double recipes. You're on the kitchen list. But, yeah. And you know another thing is, like, when you say you don't like to cook, people will assume you don't know how. Like, it's like people don't understand those kinds of nuances. But we all know how to cook, don't we? And if you don't, no shame. I gotcha. Put that bitch directly in there. So when I was looking up recipes for celery, I read that celery juice is like a detox diet drink. Don't buy into that. Don't buy into diet culture. Don't do it. It is seriously a billion-dollar industry where they want you to hate yourself. Just fucking drink and eat good things, you know. Two bunches of celery here. The recipe calls for 1. Like I said, I doubled it. So it'll be significantly easier if you just do 1, but we're doing 2. Smell that ginger. Anyways, you can put more or less to taste. I like a lot, and yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, the ginger.
So I'm going to put 2 oranges in it. I don't know how familiar you are with juicing. If you don't have a juicer, like, use your hands. Like, don't ever believe these things like you need to buy every single gadget. Certainly these make your life a lot easier, but if you just want to test it out, like, fuck that. Like, don't buy it. Yeah, so look how pretty, like this, and then just squeeze it, motherfucking squeeze it. Oh, look at that. Everything but the apples are in here. They just won't fit if you have a larger blender. Blend it all together. But I have to have my hand on here because this like broke up a long time ago and I just have to hold it. So yeah, just. And you see how this is like ground up, but like not this. So you're gonna want to stir it up, but make sure you unplug it first because I don't want you to cut yourself. So for this recipe, I'm going to use 6 smaller gala apples. If you're using a larger apple, you don't need to use 6. And I am going to peel these. In other recipes, I don't like to peel. It's extra work, and the skins are nutritious. But I feel that they will make this drink bitter. So if you don't have a peeler, use your knife, whatever, but peelers honestly do make things easy. And this is like a couple bucks from IKEA. Oh, I hate doing it. I feel like I'm always gonna like slice my hand, and I know like my grandma's watching this, like wondering why I don't get it all out in like one curl. So, you know, cut this, but don't include the core. That's it. Pretty straightforward. Literally, this recipe is like one of the most annoying to make. So if you're using a juicer, you won't have to go through this bullshit. But this is tedious. I get a bowl, you know, in a colander. I didn't buy it like this, but it happens to like just kind of float on it. Like if you could do that situation, it's really good. And cheesecloth. You could also probably use some other kind of cloth or like a fine metal sieve or a nylon sieve. Am I saying that right? I don't know. I really don't know. Anyways, so this looks like this. What we're going to be doing is wringing the juice out. What you're going to get is like not very much juice compared to this here. Yeah, you'll see, but it tastes good. I promise you it tastes good. It's a whole bunch of bullshit moves and a whole bunch of stuff you're not going to want to do again, but it's really, really good. Don't pour it all in. Just don't. I tried it last week and it's annoying. So get some in here so you can look at this. It looks like, look at this. It's like a ball sack. It's like a ball sack. It's like a testicle sack. Yeah, but you just squeeze that motherfucking juice out. Make sure your hands are clean. Don't be like, ew, I don't know. I don't even want to say. But yeah, so you just like wring these balls out like this and wring it, wring it, wring it, wring it. And wring it. Wring it. Wring it. So this little bowl sack here made that much juice. See? Juice. Now look, we have a lot more to go. So we're gonna see how much the blender made. This is the juice. Do you see it? Woo! It's a good amount. So I have 2 canning jars, same size. Use any size you want. Much easier with a funnel. And that's it. Pour it in. We'll see how much it made. This is best to drink within 24 hours. You can drink it room temperature or cold. If you care about nutrients, bioavailability, I believe that's the shit. Sooner the better. But I just love the way it tastes. Some lids. It's not dirty. I just washed them. Celery juice. It's really good. And I have four more bunches of celery to do. I'll be in the kitchen all week long. Next week, I might do mushrooms, I might not. But look at this. God, at least this is fucking easier to cook than celery.